Good morning, guys. So today's topic is Boolean algebra. So this Boolean algebra is useful when we are going to find some expression and we want to minimize it. So we need in that cases we need to know about Boolean algebra. So today we will be seeing or understanding this Boolean algebra, the switching algebra, and see the axioms and theorems involved in it. So to start with, in 1984, George Boole invented this two-valued algebraic system, and now it is popularly called the Boolean algebra. Later in 1938, Claude E. Shannon, he adapted this Boolean algebra to analyze and describe the behavior of the circuits built using relays, because at that period the logic element, most commonly used logic element, was relays. So Shannon, what he did was, the condition of the relay contact, whether the relay is being open or closed, that was represented as a variable x, and it was to have two possible values, 0 or 1. If it is open, it will be 1, and if it is closed, it will be 0. Like that way it was used. Now with today's technology, in many positions, we use this 0 and 1 logic actually. So if the voltage is high, we use 1, and if it is low, we use 0. Similarly, on and off conditions, capacitor charged and discharged condition, all those cases we use nowadays. So let us first see the basic definitions involved in it. So what is Boolean algebra? So as with any algebra, so any other deductive mathematical system, this Boolean algebra can also be defined with a set of elements, set of operators, and a number of unproved axioms or postulates. That is, they are like facts. You cannot give a solid proof for it, or that is not necessary. That is what is axioms or the postulates. So the set of elements, this is basic algebra. So you all know what is set of elements. So it is a collection of objects having a common property. And then binary operator. So what is an operator? This is defined on the set of elements, and a rule that assigns to those elements. That is what is a binary operator. So if, for example, if we are performing A star B and you are getting a C, I am not mentioning anything about the values of A, B, and C, or not even mentioning what the star operator actually does. So for this star operator to be a binary operator, the condition that should be satisfied is whatever operation I am performing on these elements A and B, that is going to give me C, which should also belong to the same set of elements. That is the only case. If A and B belongs to a set and the result C is not in that set, then we don't call that star as a binary operator. Okay. Next is the field. Field is as such an example of an algebraic structure. These are some of the basic definitions you need to know. Then we go to the postulates. So with respect to these postulates, actually these postulates you would have come across with respect to mathematics in 12th or so. I remember studying it in 12th standard. So maybe you guys would have also come across at that time. So with respect to these postulates, we are going to see 6 postulates. The first one is the closure, that is closure property. Next, associative law, commutative law, then identity element, and then we have the inverse, and last we have the distributive law. So the first postulate, closure, we say a set S to be closed with respect to an operator if for every pair of element of S, the binary operator specifies a rule for obtaining a unique element of S. So what it actually implies is, just now I was saying A star B equal to C. So if we said that this star will be a binary operator if all these A, B, and C belongs to the set of elements. If you are getting such a thing, we call it a closure property. Okay, everything should belong to the set S. Next is the associative law. This, as such, we all know very much. So with associative law, we say that the binary operator star on a set S is said to be associative whenever x star y star z is equal to x star y star z. That is, if we change the bracket positions while doing the operation, we should get the same result. In such a case, we say that as the associative law. Then commutative law. The commutative law also we have come across in many places. So x star y is equal to y star x for all x comma y belonging to the set of element S. Okay, that is commutative law. Next we have the identity element. So identity element. So set S is said to have an identity element with respect to binary operation star on S if there exists an element E that belongs to S. So any set of elements should have an identity element E, and it should have the property that if we are going to perform binary operation on that identity element with any other element in the set, you should get the same element. That is what is the identity element. So we will see through it how or what the value will be in case of this Boolean algebra. This is the general thing. Next is the inverse operator. So any set of element S or any set S having the identity element E with respect to the binary operator star is said to have an inverse whenever you have, or if you are performing X star E, you should get E. In that case, we say Y to be the inverse of X. Okay. And then distributive law. So for distributive law, two operators will be involved. So here if we consider star and dot to be two binary operators, then star is said to be distributive over dot whenever X star y dot z is equal to x star y dot x star z. Okay, this is the distributive law. So these postulates you have already come across in your lower classes mathematics. Okay, so now we shall see these with respect to the Boolean algebra. So the axiomatic definition of the Boolean algebra. So this Boolean algebra is an algebraic structure defined by set of elements B. As it is Boolean algebra, we just denote the set of elements to be B. Okay, it can be anything, but general convention we denote it as B. And you have the set of operators plus and dot. So the two operators considered here with Boolean algebra are plus and dot. That is also for our convenience only. As people are very much used to that plus and star, we are using this convention. And this Boolean algebra should follow the postulates. That is, the postulates, the following postulates are also to be satisfied in case of Boolean algebra. So these postulates are also called as Huntington postulates. So the first thing is closure postulate. So the structure is closed with respect to both plus and dot operator. That is, whatever operation you perform with the set of elements using this plus and dot operation, the resultant will also be the element belonging to that set. So that is closure. And then we have the commutative law. So in commutative law, as we mentioned, x plus y will be equal to y plus x, and same goes with the dot operator. So x dot y is equal to y dot x. And the next one with the Huntington postulate is identity element. So here the additive identity or the identity element with respect to the plus operator is 0, and the multiplicative identity, that is the identity element with respect to the dot operator. Dot operator is, so identity element with respect to the dot operator is 1, and with respect to the plus operator is 0. Next we have the distributive law. So here with respect to this Boolean algebra, we have both the dot operator distributive over plus giving us the result x dot y plus z is equal to x dot y plus x dot z, and plus is distributive over dot. With that we get x plus into y dot z is equal to x plus y into dot x plus z. Okay. And other than that, with the Huntington postulate, we have for every element of x belonging to B, there exists an element x bar. So this x bar, we call it as the complement. So this will also satisfy the condition as x plus x bar is equal to 1, And with respect to dot operator, x dot x bar will be equal to 0. And the sixth postulate is there exist at least two elements x comma y in the set B such that x is not equal to y. So you will be having two distinct elements in the set. So now we saw the postulates with respect to all the algebra or any algebra, and now we have seen the Huntington postulates. Now next we shall see the difference between this Boolean algebra and the ordinary algebra. So this Huntington postulates, this does not include associative law. With the general postulate, we saw associative law, but Huntington postulate does not include it. However, Boolean algebra satisfies this associative law as well. Then in any ordinary algebra, the distributive law plus over dot is not valid. However, Boolean algebra satisfies this plus over dot distributive operation or distributive law also. And in the general postulate, we are mentioning about the inverses. However, with Boolean algebra, we don't have any additive or multiplicative inverse. And the complement postulate that we saw, that we do not have in ordinary algebra, we have only over here. And with ordinary algebra, it generally deals with the real numbers, so which is an infinite set of elements, whereas Boolean algebra, the set of elements are not yet defined actually. So we see for an example with the two-valued Boolean algebra. And we use this two-valued Boolean algebra as such everywhere. We don't use any other logic. So here this two-valued Boolean algebra has only two elements, that is 0 and 1. So with respect to this two-valued Boolean algebra, the set of elements are B is equal to 0, 1, and the binary operators are plus and dot. So with respect to that, we have given the values over here. So if we are going to perform the dot operation of 0 with 0, the resultant is 0. Or in short, the dot operation with an element and 0 will give me a 0, okay, with any element and 0. So if I am going to have, if any one of the values in this x and y, if any one of the value is 0, I am going to have the output of this function to be 0, okay. And if both the elements are 1, the output is going to be 1, okay. So this is nothing but similar to the AND operation. So we will see the logic gates maybe tomorrow. After that, we will see this, okay. So this dot operation is also called as AND operation. And this plus operation is also called the OR operation. So here, if any one of the element is 1, the output of the function is 1. If both are 0, you have the output to be 0. And this x bar is called the complement. So with respect to this complement, so if I am going to have 0, the complement operation will make it as 1. And if I am going to have 1, the complement operation will make it a 0. Okay. So you can also denote this complement operation as a bar symbol over the variable. Okay. We will be using alternately with these symbols. Either it is a prime symbol like this, or you will be using this bar over the variable. Okay, so this is the basic operation with respect to this two-valued Boolean algebra. And also this Complement operation, we also call it as NOT operation. So we will see this, all these in the logic gates. Okay. So specifically, now we are to see the Huntington's postulates that is applicable for the two-valued algebra. So as I mentioned, with this set of elements B is equal to 0, 1 and the binary operators plus and star. So the structure is closed with respect to the two operators, since the result of each operation is either 1 or 0, and 1 comma 0 belongs to the set B. So here in this we can see whatever operation you are performing, the dot, plus, complement, whatever the operation is, the resultant is also belonging to the set of elements 0 comma 1. So it satisfies the closure property. Then the identity element. So with identity element, what we saw was x star e equal to e star x. So the general thing is x star e equal to e star x is equal to x, right? So whatever operation you are going to perform with respect to an element and the identity element, you should get that particular element as the output. So here in case of plus operator, the identity element is a 0, and for dot operator the identity element is 1. So that is mentioned as for 0 plus 1, this is my e, this is my x, okay, and this is my e. With the plus operator, that is what we are doing, and we get the resultant to be x. And for dot operator, this is my e, this is my x. If this is x, this is e, then also you are getting x as such. Okay, va? So with two-valued algebra, the identity element of plus operator is 0 and dot operator is 1. And commutative law that we know, x plus y is equal to y plus x, or for the dot operator, x dot y is equal to y dot x. So you can see this here. So 0 plus 1 is equal to 0 and 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. So x plus y is equal to y plus x is equal to, or both are giving you the same result. And similar way, 0 dot 1 is equal to 1 dot 0 are giving you the same result. Okay, va? So this shows the commutative property. Then the distributive law. So for distributive law, we shall so for distributive law, for 1 we shall see. So we are going to have x plus y dot z is equal to x plus y dot x plus z. So this is plus is distributive over dot. Okay, va? So this can be proved by giving a table format. So we take all possible values of x, y, and z. So this is y dot z. Then we have x plus y dot z. Then we have x plus y, x plus z, and x plus y into x plus z. So now we need to prove this one and this one to have the same values. Okay. So as we are having three variables with all possible combinations of x, y, and z, I write it in the order 0 to 7 in binary. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, 1. So now we are performing AND operation between y and z. So I was mentioning with respect to y and z, if you are going to perform the AND operation, if any one of the element is going to have a value 0, the output of that operation is 0. So here y dot z is 0 dot 0, 0 dot 1, 1 dot 0, 1 dot 1. So a 1. This is again 0, 0, 0 and a 1. Okay, ba? So only with these two combinations you are having both ones. So there alone I have a 1 as the output. And next we are going to perform OR operation between this x and this y dot z. Okay. So with OR operator, if any one of the value is 1, we get the output to be 1. Otherwise it is 0. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Here we have a 1, here a 1, here a 1, here a 1 and here a 1. So now we have found the left hand side of this expression. Next we are going to find x plus y. So between these two elements. So I will choose the red pen for this right hand side. So for x plus y, we are going to perform the OR operation between x plus y. So if any one value of this x and y are 1, the output is 1. Otherwise it is a 0. So here these two we have a 1. Again, all these we have a 1. Next, we are to perform OR operation between these two, x plus z. So here again you have, this is a 0, this is a 1, this is a 0, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, and this is a 1. Okay. Now we are to perform AND operation between these two results. So 0, 1. Did I make a mistake somewhere? Because
zero.
Sorry, 0 dot 1. And this is 1 dot 0. And then all these are 1s. Okay. So now we got both to be the same results. So the distributive law is proved. The same way you can do it for the dot over plus operator. X dot into y plus z is equal to x dot y plus x dot z. For this also you can prove the same way. Okay, va? So now let's get back to the slide. Okay. And then from the complement table, so here we can see. So it is said that x plus x bar is equal to 1 and x dot x bar equal to 0. So x plus x bar equal to 1 and x dot x bar equal to 0 is what we have. So 0 plus 1 will give me a 1, whereas 0 dot 1 will give me a 0, because any one of the element is 0 and you will get this a 0. Okay. And lastly, here this Boolean algebra, we have only two elements 0 and 1, and here thus 1 and 0 are not equal. Both are unique elements. Okay. So these are the Huntington's postulates with respect to the two-valued Boolean algebra. So after this, we have certain basic theorems and their properties. So put together, I have given both the postulates as well as the theorems over here. So here the first postulate is that of the identity element. So that is x plus e equal to x, or x dot e equal to x with respect to both the plus and dot operator. So that is what is mentioned over here. Then the commutative law, x plus y equal to y plus x and x dot y equal to y dot x. And next we have the distributive law. So x dot into y plus z is equal to x dot y plus x dot z, and x plus y dot z equal to x plus y into x plus z. And the postulate with respect to complement is x plus x bar equal to 1 and x dot x bar equal to 0. So these are the things you have with respect to the postulates, for which as such you don't have any proof, However, you can show the proofs with respect to or using the tables. Okay. Next, we have some theorems. So with these theorems, they may ask any of these as 2 mark questions. Okay. So even though you know the result as such, what you need to do is you should be using the postulates to prove these theorems. We will see 1 or 2 examples with this. So the first theorem is x plus x is equal to x. That is with respect to the plus operator. If you are going to do the plus operation with respect to the same element, you will be getting the same element. That is 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 and 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. The same way 0.0 is equal to 0 and 1.1 is equal to 1. That is what this theorem is about. And then this x plus 1 is equal to 1 and x dot 0 equal to 0. So any element, if you are going to do the plus operator with respect to 1, the resultant will be 1 irrespective of what you have with the element. Same way, if you are going to do AND operator or the dot operator with respect to 0 with any element, irrespective of that particular element, the value will be a 0. And complement of the complement will give you a x. This is called the involution theorem. So for certain theorems, we have names. So x bar the whole bar will give you the value x. And the next theorem is the associative law. So as this was not included in the Huntington's postulates, this is given separately. And we have De Morgan's theorem. So De Morgan's theorem we know very well. So this theorem we will be using very much as we proceed. So x plus y the whole bar is equal to x bar dot y bar and x dot y the whole bar is equal to x bar plus y bar. That you know very well. And the next theorem is absorption theorem. So in case of this absorption theorem, you have x plus x dot y equal to x. This is the same way. And we have another theorem, x plus x bar y is equal to x plus y and x dot of x bar plus y is equal to x dot y. So here in these, the expressions in this A and B are said to be dual to each other. So what is duality? The duality principle is every algebraic expression deducible from the postulates of Boolean algebra remains valid if the binary operators and the identity elements are interchanged. So here, if you check, here in each of these, we are actually interchanging plus with dot or dot with plus and 0 with 1 and 1 with 0, because 0 is the identity element for plus operator and 1 is the identity element with respect to the dot operator. So all these expressions with these A and B, wherever we have written, this actually corresponds to, or each of the expression is dual of the other. So if you know to prove one of these things, you can use the dual of it to prove the other one as well. Okay, so here if you check, or let me take this particular thing first. So with this theorem 2, we have x plus 1 is equal to 1. So interchanging this 1 with 0 and plus with dot, we have x dot 0 equal to 0. And this is applicable to the other expressions also. But here we are not going to interchange the variables, only the plus and dot will be changed. Okay. So with respect to De Morgan's theorem, if you check, we have x plus y the whole bar is equal to x bar dot y bar. Here, just the corresponding operators are changed. That we call it as the dual. Okay. So here first, let us see a theorem proof for this x plus 1 is equal to 1. Sorry. X plus x is equal to x. So here, for x plus x is equal to x, in order to prove it, because they used to ask such a thing for 2 mark question, So you cannot straight away give it. So for that purpose, we need to give all the corresponding postulate used in it. So first thing what we do is we are going to multiply or do the AND operation with respect to this 1. So this is the identity element postulate, that is x dot 1 is equal to x. Okay. So x dot 1 is equal to x. So for that purpose, we have used this. Next, here I am replacing this 1 with the postulate in the complement. So x plus x bar is equal to 1. Okay, va? Then here we are using the distributive law, that is plus over dot. So x plus into x dot x bar will give me x plus x dot x plus x bar. So that is what is used. And this is again the result of the complement. So x dot x bar is equal to 0. Then again this is with respect to identity element. So x plus 0 is equal to x. Okay, this is how we should give the proof for it. So I gave another one also over here. Oh my God. So here with respect to the sixth theorem, where we had x plus xy is equal to 1. So for that purpose, what I am first using is including the identity element with respect to this x. Okay, so x dot 1 is equal to x. Now I am using distributive law over here. So this is again, this is dot over plus. So x is common, so x dot 1 plus y. So now this 1 plus y is nothing but the identity element result, where you have x plus 1 is equal to 1. Or you can also say this is corresponding to the theorem also. Okay. So with respect to that, we have the result x plus xy is equal to x. Okay. So this is how we do the calculations with this. So I summarize this Boolean algebra over here. So here, for any algebra, we have 6 postulates defined, namely the closure property, associative law, commutative law, identity element, inverse, and the distributive law. With respect to Huntington's postulates, we have this closure property, commutative law, identity element, and the distributive law with respect to the general postulates. And in addition, we have a complement and another postulate which states that the two elements belonging to the set should be a unique one. And in two-valued Boolean algebra, we have set of elements B is equal to 0, 1, and we have two binary operators dot and plus. And lastly, dual of any expression can be obtained by interchanging the binary operators and the identity elements. And in this, I have given just 2 more theorems to be proved by you for test your understanding. Okay, va? So with this, we shall wind off Boolean algebra. Next, we shall see logic gates. So with respect to logic gates, okay, this is not going back. I will take a new one. Okay. So logic gates. So these logic gates are the basic building block of any digital system. Okay, that is where any digital logic system will be having these logic gates as the very basic unit. Okay, and in this we have basically the OR gates, AND gates, NOT gates. These are called the basic gates, and we also have other gates as NAND gate and NOR gate. These two gates, we call it as universal gates. We will come across why it is called so. And we also have additional gates as XOR and XNOR gates. So these are the basic gates we come across in whole of the digital system design. Okay. So first one is the OR gate. So this OR gate, we give the expression for this as if you are going to perform the OR operation with respect to two variables X and Y. So this is given as the output will be defined as F is equal to X plus Y. And the symbol for this particular gate is like this. Okay, you have a curve symbol over here, and this is also sort of curved over this thing. This is a 2-input OR gate. You can have any number of inputs actually, because as they started designing or using ICs for everything, they have multiple input OR gate, AND gate, and all those things. Okay, so we shall see the basic thing. So with respect to this OR operation, so just like what we saw over there in the OR operation or the plus operator. So with respect to X and Y, if you are going to perform the OR operation, you are going to have 0, 0 as 0, 0, 1 will give me a 1, 1, 0 will give me a 1, and 1, 1 will give me a 1. Okay, va? So to remember it simply, if any input to the OR gate is 1, to the OR gate is 1, the output is also 1. If all inputs to the OR gate are 0, the output is 0. This is what you need to remember. Okay, va? And the IC used, that is, these are the ICs you will be using in lab. So IC 7432 corresponds to 2-input OR gate. Okay, so this particular IC will have 2-input OR gate. That too, 8 number of 2-input OR gate will be there. 8, sorry, 4. So you have 4 number of, so you will be having 4 numbers of 2-input OR gate in this particular IC. So this IC in total is a 14-pin IC. So each of the gate will require 3 pins. So 4 into 3, 12 pins for the gates and 2 pins for VCC and ground. That is, you need to give supply for the IC to work. So for that purpose, we need the VCC and the ground connection. Okay. So this is about the OR gates. Next, we have the AND gates. So for AND gate, here the symbol is for a 2-input AND gate. Here this should be a straight line and then a curve. Okay, so X and Y, and if this is a function, so this is defined as AND operation is given as F is equal to X dot Y. So here again, x, y, and f is equal to x dot y. So 0, 0 will give me a 0, 0, 1 will give me a 0, 1, 0 will give me a 0, and 1, 1 will give me a 1. Okay, ba? So here for AND gate, if any input is 0, output is 0. If all inputs are 1, output is 1. Okay, you need to have that in mind. And the IC used for this is IC 7408. This is also again similar to the IC 7432. 4 number of 2 input AND gates. Okay, so this is about the AND gate. Next we have the NOT gate. So NOT gate. So NOT gate, as the name implies, it is going to perform NOT operation. That is, whatever you give as input, you are going to give the complement of that one. So here we have this triangle symbol and you place a bubble over here. This bubble actually implies the complementing operation. Okay. So if I am going to give x as input, I will get x bar as output. So here we have only one input. So if I input a 0, I am going to get not of x, that is not x. So I will get output to be 1. And if I give input to be 1, output is 0. Okay. And the IC number for this is IC 7404. As this has only two that is only 2 pins involved, that is x and x bar, only one input and only one output. So this particular IC actually has 6 number of NOT gates. Okay, all these are actually 14 pin IC. So this OR, AND NOT are the basic gates. Then we shall see. So next we will see the other gates. So the first one we come across is the NOR gate. So this actually implies not OR gate. So whatever OR gate does, it will do the inverse operation of the NOR gate. Okay. So for NOR gate, we had the function to be f is equal to x plus y. So this is not of OR. So you give the expression as x plus y the whole bar. Okay, va? And the table for this will be x, y, and f is equal to x plus y the whole bar. So 0, 0 with NOR gate, 0 plus 0 will give me a 0. However, here you get a 1 as it is doing the OR operation, NOT operation of the OR gate. And 0, 1 gives me a 1 in case of OR gate. So here I will have a 0. 1, 0 will give me a 1 in OR gate. So here again I have a 0. And 1, 1 will give me a 1. Again, this will give me a 0. So in case of NOR gate, if any input is 1, output is 0. If all inputs are 0, output is 1. Okay. And with respect to the symbol, so with respect to the symbol, we said not of R. So the symbol is also the same way. We have the OR gate symbol and you put a bubble to indicate that it is a NOR gate. So here you have x, this is y, and this is the function. Okay, and the IC used for this is, I think it is IC 7402. I have a doubt with it. Just I will let you know maybe later. Okay, IC 7402 is the NOR gate IC. So that is with respect to the NOR gate. And the next one. So just to compare between this OR and NOR operation, you can see the table over here. So here we had 0, 1, 1, 1 in case of OR operation. Here we have 1, 0, 0. Okay. Next, we shall move on to NAND gates. So similar to NOR gate, this NAND gate is also not AND. Okay, wow. So here also the symbol will be, you have the AND gate symbol and you give the bubble in front of it. So x, y, f is equal to x dot y, the whole bar. Okay. So here the table will be x, y, and f is equal to x dot y, the whole bar. So 0, 0. So in case of AND gate, if any one of the input is 0, my output is going to be 0. Here it is the inverse. So you have a 1. 0, 1 will give me a 1. 1, 0 will give me a 1. And if both the inputs are 1, I get the output to be 0. Okay. So if any input is 0, in case of NAND gate, the output is 1. If all inputs are 1, the output is 0. And IC 7410 or 00. I am having a doubt with these two IC numbers. Sorry about it. So I think it is IC 7400. This corresponds to that of NAND gates. I will just confirm these two. Okay. So why we call these?
Ma'am, netla 7400 போட்டிருக்கு.
NAND gate தானே?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then this is right. 7410 is 3 input AND gate, I think. I don't remember properly. Okay. And did you check for NOR gate?
Ma'am, NOR வந்து 7402 ma'am.
Okay. Then I was correct about that also. Okay, thank you. So why we call these NAND and NOR gate as universal gate? The main reason is you could actually implement this OR gate, AND gate, and NOT gate. All the basic gates can be implemented using these NOR and NAND gate. That is the reason why we call these as universal gates. That is how we do this is, we know the OR operation is x plus y, x plus y. So what we have to actually do for this to be implemented using NOR gate is, so as such, this will give me the complement of this one, right? So if I am going to have this as x bar, y bar will give me this to be AND operation. So this, if I am going to have this as x bar, y bar, this is going to be x bar plus y bar the whole bar, which is nothing but x dot y. This is AND operation. For NOT operation, what you will do is you will be giving a single input to the both the inputs. So if this is x bar, the output will be, sorry, if this is x, the output will be x bar. So this will be NOT operation. And for this one, so after performing the NOR operation, I invert this. So this is x, y. Here I will be having x plus y the whole bar, and this will be x plus y, which is OR operation. Just a minute, did someone enter or? Okay. So you could implement all the basic gates using the NOR gate. The same way you could do for NAND gate also, because NAND gate is similar to this. So in order to have the AND operation, you will be having x and y. So this will be x dot y the whole bar, and this will give me xy. This is our AND operation. Then similar to this one, if we are going to have a single input, this is going to be x bar. So the NOT operation. And for OR operation, you have so x bar, y bar. So this will be x bar dot y bar the whole bar, which is nothing but x plus y, the OR operation. So you can implement all the basic gates using this NAND and NOR gates. That's the reason why we call these the universal gates. Okay. So with this, I wind off today's class. Thank you.